Hello, Hope. Welcome to my front porch. I wanted to take a couple minutes, or I just asked that you give me a couple minutes to share some thoughts that I just think might be helpful to all of us in the coming days. And one of them is this, that we had a great elder meeting not too long ago, and one of the elders says we really have two priorities. Our first priority is just to make sure that there's spiritual growth, spiritual health happening in our flock that we've been entrusted to in our church, and that's incredible. And the other one is, how do we protect others? And another way of saying it, how do we love our neighbor? And we want to hold those two things high and of great importance. And so many of you know, and if you don't know, I'm glad you now know, we have flocks at our church. So the elders have flocks, groups of people at the church who've kind of, the people who've said, Hope is our church, that we've kind of assigned an elder, and then they have a partner, usually of the opposite gender. And you've probably gotten a call from these people just trying to check up. If you haven't, let us know, because some people come in and out of Hope and trying to track people down, and it's kind of hard to get everyone in a flock, but we're doing our best to do that. And what they're going to do is just, I'm giving you a heads up, they're going to ask you some questions that we think are really important, maybe the most important questions right now. And they're not necessarily opinions, they're about how are you doing? And so the first one is literally, how are you doing? Physically, how are you doing? Spiritually, how are you doing? Emotionally, how are you doing? We need to pay attention right now to all of those healths, especially spiritual and emotional health right now that seems to kind of go under the radar screen sometimes. And so they just want to ask you that. So I'm prepping you. How are you doing? The second one is they want to know how you're connecting. We as a church, we've put out sermons and prayer resources, and there's Zoom groups, and we've tried to resource you all, but we're not sure is, are you connecting with those resources? Are you connecting with others in the church? And so the second question is, how are you connecting? Just so we can get some information on what that looks like. The third question they're going to ask you has something to do with, are you in a position, or have you been in a position to reach out and care for others? What does that look like, what we're trying to find out? What does that look like to care and help others in this season? And then the fourth thing is just, they're going to ask you how they can pray for you. And I have to tell you, I personally am so much more excited about that than a survey. My first intention was, everyone's sending out a survey, send out a survey. But you have great elders at your church who said, no, we're a more relational church. Let's get at something that a survey can't get at, a little bit deeper. And I'm grateful for it. And the questions we're asking you are all around what our church is about. That we want people to grow up in and out, up in worship, in community, and out as we serve one another. And so all the questions kind of revolve around that kind of threefold way or rhythm of our church family. Um, why are we doing this? I already told you that. Oh, the other one was, I got a great text today. Someone said that they were originally frustrated with the title of my new messages about the new normal, and that people hate that phrase. Well, go listen to the sermon. And then next week, I'm going to do the same thing. Go listen to the sermon. I think they're really important messages that have to do with all these things I'm talking about right now. And I'd ask you to take some time and listen to those two messages as we rephrase and reframe this new normal phrase and look at it through the lens of the Holy Spirit. So do me a favor, watch the message and let it sink in. And then next week, watch the message as well. If you don't hear from an elder, would you let me know? You can just email Nate@hopeforwilmington.com or info@hopeforwilmington.com, and we'll get back with you and get you connected, or I will give you a call and ask you some of those questions. And so if you don't have an elder, it's okay. You're not a sheep without a shepherd. We'll get you one. And the other thing is, don't play hide and seek from us. So don't, like, if you haven't heard from us, don't get angry. Just say, hey, I haven't heard from someone, and we'll come call you. So we're not playing hide and seek. We're just trying to get an assessment of spiritual health. So thank you for giving me almost 5 minutes on what I call my Cracker Barrel porch. Real long, lots of rocking chairs, no checkerboards. So that's the deal. I'm excited about our church in these awkward times, and trusting in the Holy Spirit to guide us. Be well. Miss you all. I really do. If we could get back tomorrow, I would. But we're gonna take it one step at a time, prayerfully, thoughtfully, and as a community of faith. So make sure and respond to your elders or reach out so we can get this information as soon as possible. Have a great day.